to have the personality quiz at the start slightly influence the dialogue. Which, like...
What? Are you guys still there?
I'm still here. Phoenix. No, Phoenix definitely muted. I was mainly just like seeing how long it would take you guys to notice that I had stopped talking, because I was like...
No, I noticed that you'd stopped talking.
But where was I? Yeah, so like it's genuinely like an inspired choice. It only minorly changes the dialogue, but like...
That's not what I'm saying.
Stop doing that.
I'm literally trying to build up the damage so that it's easier to spike you.
Up tilt is your friend as well. No. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway,
He took the damage and was like, oh!
Okay, I'm gonna actually finish my thought now. Well, actually, I'd like to wait for Phoenix to be ready, but... Yeah, good job. With your 14 kills. So I'm gonna toss launch rate onto half. Was that you or Phoenix?
No, that wasn't me.
All right. Yeah, just so that we have max. Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That sounded like Phoenix's chair. And then I looked over and they were still deafened and muted, and I was just like, was that you? What happened?
I saw a funny thing about Bakugo.
Oh, okay.
Where he's saying something about Deku, and like it's a picture from the manga. It's like a panel from the manga. And the caption is, "What about minding your business instead of being fruity?" And that's why I laughed.
Alright.
Because he's like thinking to himself.
Yeah.
Someone you can't expect him to drop his habits immediately. This is interesting. The main characters are the last 3 games.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a spot dodge.
Yeah. I put launch rate on half so you have more time to practice. Yeah, anyway, so now I'm going to finish my thought. So Phoenix, how much did you hear? Because like this is something I would like... I mean, I guess you don't have to have input on it, but I would like, if you do, I would appreciate it.
Did you see me deaf?
Yes, I know. Well, I saw that you were deaf.
Waited.
That's what I was asking. Where did you stop hearing? I saw that you were deafened, but I didn't see when you did it.
I think I don't actually think you were talking about discussing.
You don't actually think I...
Like, when you last left off, I don't think you were talking about it. Still discussing Smash Brothers stuff.
Well, so what I was saying was, what I brought up was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, right. No, I definitely left off at Robin has personality.
Okay. So you didn't hear me bring up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
No, wait. Okay, then I did hear you. Because you brought up... No, I thought that was in tandem because you brought up how...
Well, I brought up
Yeah.
Pokemon. I brought up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but I went more in depth. So, like, at what point did you stop hearing me? That's like, what was the last point?
I remember.
Okay, well,
I'm live.
like I said,
It's not
launch rate and a half. You are effectively at 94 right now. But yeah, anyway, so Phoenix, so I went more in depth because like this was the line I brought up when I noticed that you had deafened and muted, because it's something that I'm pretty I have not shared this piece of information about Mystery Dungeon like with either of you, I don't think, and it's one of the things I like a lot about
to hit you.
You tried. It's one of the things I like the most about the game. Well, it's not the most, but it's one of the things I like a lot because it's just like, so indicative.
Wait, which part was that you liked the most about the game?
No,
specifically.
I was correcting myself, Phoenix. You didn't hear the whole sentence.
No, I didn't hear the beginning. If you mentioned what it is you like not the most, but
no,
something you like a lot about the game.
I brought up like a detail that I like a lot, and because I was starting to say a detail, and then I was correcting myself. But I was brought up a detail that I like a lot that I have not actually shared with either of you, which is the fact that the personality quiz at the start does change the dialogue throughout the game. Only by a little bit.
Makes sense.
Like,
it's a nice little detail.
Yeah, and it changes specifically your dialogue as the character. Yeah. But and especially during the final, your final speech, when you are literally not a silent protagonist anymore because you are directly speaking.
Right.
The only time you have literal dialogue in the game, because whenever you do a dialogue option,
it's to yourself, right?
Phoenix, you're on 127%.
Yeah, be like that.
So, whenever you do,
wait, we're talking about Explorers of Sky, right?
Yes. It's just so whenever you do whenever your text is in a dialogue box, it's always in a parenthetical, indicating that it's you thinking to yourself. Whenever
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, whenever you do a dialogue option, and it's like, wow, I did that with one hand.
A dialogue option. That's what. Yeah, that's
and whenever you do, whenever you do that, or whenever that gets done in the game, it's represented in the classic silent protagonist way, which is the character doesn't actually say anything, but they make a motion.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just you gesture with
happens
your
in
hands.
Fire Emblem. Often, that's what happens in Three Houses. Byleth will just move hand up and then down, pretty much.
Or, oh my god, it's so funny. It's like, oh, you hate women, and she just moves her hand.
Yeah, it's
it's so funny, and sometimes she just nods, sometimes she just stands there, sometimes she smiles, sometimes she just stands there, sometimes she stands there.
it's just emotion, and it's part of the thing that this is a tangent from a tangent, but as much as I do like the art style of the remake of Mystery Dungeon, I still do like the 2D sprite artwork.
Sorry, I bounced and countered.
I like the 2D sprite artwork because it is just so simplistic and can represent what is happening just so well. Okay, all right. Do I have quiet yet?
Oh, right, you can hear the game.
Yes. And it's very, like, in order to pick up on the recording, it is louder than you two.
Ah. We'll continue what you were saying. I will silent.
I appreciate it. But yeah, it's just like, so whenever you have a dialogue option, or you are just represented to be saying something to another character, it has you just do a motion, and if it's not obvious, like if it's not a dialogue option, they'll repeat back to you like what you said in a way that usually makes sense, you know. Just they'll ask, like, to make sure that, you know, oh, we should do this. That's what you think, and like it puts words in your mouth, but it does it in a good way. Like, so they are silent protagonists, the Mystery Dungeon protagonists, and Explorers of Sky is like the only game I've. Well, I mean, I've also played. It's complicated. My relationship with the first one is complicated, but yeah, it's just like. Explorers. What was that?
I was typing.
So, Mystery Dungeon protagonists, silent protagonists. I have no compunctions about naming them myself, because they are like supposed to be like there is nothing else there.
Right.
Like, I am the only person giving this character. Like, so my name is the only one that they have. Otherwise, I call them by the name of the Pokemon that they became, thanks to the quiz. And
right.
I always have, like, I've named my starter, like, in Mystery Dungeon, I've named the protagonist myself, and I've named my partner Jamie. Like, just because, like, that's... The partner, like, doesn't have a name either, but they are so much more of a character. Like, it's the only reason, like...
Well, because they're, like, actually Pokemon.
But... Wait, what?
Wait, what am I forgetting?
What are you saying?
I thought, like, Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, you weren't a Pokemon, but then you were...
No, like, yes, you're misunderstanding me. Because, like, the thing is...
Oh, this is not just... Yeah, no, sorry. I totally misunderstood you.
Yeah, it's, like, so, let me explain better. Because, like, the thing is, the partner is... Let's turn that off just to... But yeah, the partner, like, I keep calling them the partner because they don't have a name beyond that. And, like, even more than that, they don't... Like, because I can't even call them the Pokemon that they are, because that changes every playthrough. Like, I always pick the same one for them, but, like, there is no canon one that they are. Unless you're a, like, serious stickler for detail and insist that, like, that one anime special that showed up dictates that it's canonically a Piplup, I think it was.
Come on, anime. It's anime, guys. Don't use anime for your canon in Pokemon.
Yeah, but also, like, it was a single episode special.
Yeah, come on. Especially don't use, like, single movies or episodes. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, so, like, I always call him Jamie. It's usually male, because I usually pick Chimchar. And that's a male, like, starter. So I know him in my head as a Chimchar named Jamie. And I have also, like,
Excuse me.
I would have an easier time changing the character, like, my own, the protagonist's name, than I would Jamie the Chimchar, because that's a character, like, I know as having a personality, as being the main character of the story. And I've talked a lot about my praise for that before. And like, but even then, it's not a canon name. It's still a name that you chose, and a Pokemon that you chose for them. Audrey?
Sorry, I punched my mic and then I was moving my headphones because it was hurting my ears.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because like this is one of those situations where like if there's a character who I know has an established personality of any kind that isn't like, even if it is supposed to be like that you project your like you yourself onto them, like I know Byleth to be a stoic teacher, for a former mercenary who is silent because like for like a multitude of reasons, like just they turn being a silent protagonist into a personality in and of itself, as opposed to the Mr. Dungeon protagonist, who has a sort of bare bones personality that you are meant to project yourself onto. Because it's not until... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say there is also a reason why Byleth is the way Byleth is. So
yeah, I do know that. Like, well, I know that there's a reason. I don't remember what the reason is off the top of my head, because I'm pretty sure I've heard it before and I promptly forgot because it didn't, like I hadn't played the game. It didn't stick with me. But so like there are characters. Yeah, all right, no worries. Like we're not exactly in a rush here. Cadel is rambling, and he like is feeling good about it. I really hope like it is okay if I do this, right, Phoenix? Like just sort of take over, because this is something that like I've had this sort of not speech, feels monologue. I've had this monologue ready.
Phoenix, no, you messed it up.
No, yeah, that's fine, Cadel.
Yeah, all right, I'm glad. Thank you.
I'm gonna be every other one, and then it was 2-2-2-2.
It is for me.
Well, no, it goes you, me, you, me, you, me.
Yeah, that's how it was on my end too.
On my end, it's perfect.
2 against 1. Sorry.
Cadel, I am enjoying this, but I do want to play eventually.
I know, and we will. Like this, I'm trying to get back to the point.
Yeah, we started talking about Deadpool and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm like trying to cover like explain a lot, and sometimes I get distracted by the game, and I'm just like, and I don't want to just go autopilot, because that sounds like either that happens or I sit like everyone. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like, but anyway, as I was saying.
You were on characters, personalities. You're not sure what Byleth is.
Like Byleth is a character who, from like my understanding, from an external point of view, like, and I don't mean just like because I haven't played the game, but like from an external, outside of the game universe, like Byleth is a character who turns being a silent protagonist into a personality in and of itself, like. And
yeah, I get what you mean.
And like, and so, like I brought up Shulk, as I would not be able to name Shulk myself if I had the option. I don't think that was the best comparison. I think a better one would have been Link.
Oh God, if you could name Link.
What'd you say?
If you could name Link.
You can, in every Zelda game that isn't Breath of the Wild.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Why?
Well, okay, maybe not every Zelda game, but I do know there is a number, like, that you can, like, because he is a silent protagonist. That's what he is. And you want to know who else is a silent protagonist? Because you're going to hate me as soon as I point it out, because I'm right.
Oh...
Kirby.
Well, you can't name Kirby.
No, you can't. but
Luckily.
he is a silent protagonist.
Yeah, I suppose. He says Poyo.
You know,
That's he's
Byleth
not.
Byleth also says dialogue. So does Link. But anyway.
Yeah, Byleth says dialogue in the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, to get to my point, because the whole reason I brought this all up in the first place, thanks, was the romance thing. Like, Byleth does not change their personality based on gender.
Sorry, that was really cool.
Yeah. Like,
Byleth is always the same.
Yes, it might be interesting if there were like differences in terms of gender, implemented into the game. Like there were certain things that like changed depending on which gender you were playing as. But that would also be like from a game design standpoint, that would be bad. That's why I brought up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon in the first place, because the recent games have done away with that. They used to have, if you pick a certain Pokemon, you're locked to you can only pick a certain Pokemon if you're a certain gender.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely good that they changed that, because when you do that, then different players will have different experiences.
Yeah, like Riolu, my favorite from to play as in the game, is gender locked to male in the original.
I deserve that.
I
deserve this.
Yeah, I mean, and wait, who was gender locked to female again?
I think it was Vulpix. I think there were two, Vulpix and another one, and I can't remember who the other one was.
But I think I was still at the point where video games were still just being pandered to the male audience.
Yeah, which that's another. That's
gotten much better now, but
that's another conversational topic, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because otherwise, I want to get back to this thing that I care about, that I feel strongly about. And then we can get back to actual playing. But this is important to me. This is something that I want. You had another jump, Phoenix.
Yeah, no. Continue.
Okay. Anyway, so Byleth is okay, now I'm trying to remember how this linked. Yeah. So you could implement what was that?
What was what? Oh, parking lot.
Yeah, you could implement something that made it so that there were gender differences, but that would not be good game design. That's the kind of basis.
What
you? I wasn't looking. What happened?
You kind of just took that Final Smash and ate it.
Yeah, launch rate on
not
that.
fair.
Anyway, so there's a lot of things that you could do to make things more interesting theoretically, but they wouldn't necessarily be the best for the game in and of itself. And
I'll counter it.
in terms of silent protagonists, Audrey brought up in the original Final Fantasy VII, you can name the characters.
Yeah, but
I'm talking, children. Anyway, sorry. It's just I would never be able to name them. Chrono Trigger too. You can name the characters. Celeste.
Chrono Trigger.
Celeste. You can name Madeline.
Well, that one I did, but that one you more named save file.
Yeah, but it's still you were.
Oh yeah, they do call you, but you see, I'm too focused on dying in that game to ever notice.
Yeah.
When I do get to the story, I'm like, oh, I'm not Madeline. Weird. Then I die again.
Yeah, but So, and the I cannot emphasize this. The silent protagonist.
Link.
Can anyone guess what I'm going to bring up? I'll give you a hint.
Oh, well,
I have
you've
brought
already
it up.
mentioned Link.
No,
You brought it up already? Then it is Link.
No. I brought it up well before this. This is me tying it back into the original conversation topic. I have brought up the game. I have not brought up the character.
That's I don't think it's Chrono Trigger. Is it Chrono Trigger?
No,
I
it's
used
not.
a while before this because Chrono Trigger. I think they.
Chrono has a personality, even if it's very bare bones. But Audrey, do you have a guess?
Sorry, I was focused. I was focusing on something important.
I could tell. That's why I was trying to grab your attention.
Fuck. It's not Kirby. Wait, is it Kirby? No. Kirby is not the silent protagonist.
Audrey, who do you think is my example of the shining golden standard of a silent protagonist in a game that's very, very creative about how it implements its mechanics?
Drawn to Life?
No.
Okay.
Again, I've brought it up before in this conversation.
You said creative.
I did, yes.
I think that's what tipped Drawn to Life off. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm thinking too limited to like games you love specifically. Is this a game you have an attachment to?
Yes. In fact, it's in my top 3.
Oh fuck! It is Kirby.
No.
I'm kidding. So it's not Drawn to Life from. Wait, are you talking about Mystery Dungeon? Do you think that's the silent protagonist? Okay, then third one that I know by heart. I definitely know your third favorite game.
Also, Celeste is my third favorite.
You said it's in your top 3. Wait, is Mystery Dungeon not in your top 3?
Mystery Dungeon is number 1. Celeste is number 3. What's number 2, Phoenix?
You mentioned Drawn to Life.
Drawn to Life is number 5.
Fuck.
You're not dead.
Okay. Oh, Pokemon Diamond. Duh. It was a joke. Okay, so I'm thinking adventure. It's not Chrono Trigger. That's 7. Life obviously. Oh! It's Undertale, isn't it?
There you go.
Oh my god, yes. Look at Sephiroth with his sword.
I didn't even see the mic muted Megalovania.
Yes, it is Undertale.
God, that took me way too long.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the exact thing I was talking about earlier.
Cadel, I knew what it was. I found it way too amusing to,
Yeah, no, that's
listen
fair.
to Phoenix figure it out.
Oh, I just totally thought of Drawn to Life as your something.
No, because like there is not a more silent protagonist than Frisk from Undertale.
Actually, Cadel, if you don't want to be distracted while rambling, I can pay attention to stuff. So you can just let us fight.
What'd you say?
If you don't want to get distracted while rambling, you can just let us one, and you don't have to join.
Well,
so you don't.
That's the thing. The reason is I want it's not that I don't want to get distracted. I want to make sure that because this is also an exercise in helping Audrey implement autopilot.
Oh well, okay.
It's just because this is something that is it's not that I want to be able to say it without distraction. I want to know that I'm being listened to, and I understand that you guys can listen and do this at the same time, and I know that, but still I like having full attention, or at least knowing that you guys can follow along while doing what you're doing. So that's why I'm now picking Bowser, so that you can just hit me without thinking about it.
Okay. Bowser.
Yeah. So, Undertale, like Phoenix. There you go. Like because remember, I'm gonna bring it back around. My biggest problem, the reason I've gone on this entire ramble, is the fact that Fire Emblem Three Houses incentivizes you to want a true happy ending. One where, like, everyone is happy and you have made, you've saved the day. You've done everything perfectly. And, like, it incentivizes you to want that, and then it doesn't give it to you. And, like, my biggest criticism of that is, like, I'm thinking, like, the way to phrase it. Because, like, it's not that, like, it was clearly an intentional decision. And it's, like, I usually don't, like, criticize intentional decisions. Because, like, especially ones that, like, aren't directly harmful. Like, if someone makes a video game where, well, their entire concept of the game is racism good, actually, for example. Like, obviously...
Yeah.
Like, obviously, no. That is an idea that I will criticize. This one is not, like, on that level. It is not a harmful ideal. It's just one that I personally think could have been, like, implemented much... Like, because I don't, like, I'm not a game developer, obviously. It's... And doing what I want them to do would probably... What's up?
What?
You sighed.
No, I was adjusting and taking a deep breath because
Oh.
I was stretching.
Side note: I think I tough guy through your down air now that it's half knockback at 0.
Oh well, at 0, yes, you did, Lucina's.
Well, but anyway, so, like, like, how did we get to Silent Protagonist? Because there was a link. I'm trying to remember what it was. And it was because it was important.
Well, I mean, it was Byleth, but how did we get that?
Like, yeah, what? Yeah, the characters. The characters are the most important thing about a Fire Emblem game. Like, because, like, Zelda is a series about items. There's tons of magical objects and items of power throughout the series. Pokemon series about Pokemon. There's literally over 1,000 by now. Fire Emblem is a series. What's up?
No, that's still insane to me. Pokemon is coming. Just so I grew up like 500, but then Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like Fire Emblem is a series about characters. It's the people in the game are the most important factor in it. So you will like the characters. They're on the box arts. You are, like, going to like them, and you're only allowed to have one of them be.
I think conditioned is a word you could use.
Well, like, I don't really like that because it implies that, it's not a choice. Like, because, like, you can choose whether or not to like the characters. That's the thing that, we do in real life. We choose whether or not we like things very often.
Yes.
So, like, and, like, even if, like, we have an instinct that we can't control, like, we can't control what our first impressions are, but we can choose whether or not we like something, and more often than not, it's more fun to like than not to like something. But that's a different thing. So, like, the characters are... I believe you can tech. Tech right as the cutscene ends.
You can tech. Oh, the lag spike, and also was techable.
Yeah, but yeah. So, there is no true ending, and you're only allowed to have one character be the good guy. And like I brought up, like I'm a diplomatic person in general. I prefer to solve conflicts with words than with fights. And in general, like I started it like we've looped back around to where I started the conversation with Audrey, but I can get through it quicker. Because originally I specified in choice-based games, but then I realized no. In general, as a person, I like having options. Like that, and that's just something that applies to anything. It applies to Smash. You are both using options right now, and you're using the ones that you want to use and the ones that you think would work best. And a lot of the time, those overlap. Not all the time, but
You can continue. It's
yeah.
okay.
So, for me, when I hear that there's a game about a war, like that is going to start, my first immediate, like, just like, because the war is going to start during the course of the game. Like that was a selling, like that's I'm not even spoiled about that. That was in the announcement trailer. Oh, everything all right?
Yeah, my teabagging. Wait,
Right.
hold on, my parents called me, I think.
Okay.
Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared?
I am just trying to get to my point as quickly as I can. Yeah, Audrey's already heard this, so I can Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure. So where was I? Oh yeah, like when I wasn't exactly spoiled for the fact that there's a war that starts during the game, because that was in the announcement trailer. Like that was a huge portion of the game. Welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah, so when I hear there's a game about a war that's going to start during the course of events in the game, the immediate option I want to find is how to the immediate thought that I have is I want to find the option that makes it not happen, because that seems like it would be the best.
Peace, basically.
Yeah.
You just want to find the peace option.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just kind of not necessarily peace, but
So you use the word, it's a diplomat's option.
yeah, because there are ways to have a villain without having a whole war break out. You don't have to have only one of the house leaders be the good guy. So
Yeah.
And the reason I brought up silent protagonist is because nothing changes between the genders, and the reason I brought that up is you're always you is effectively the role that you play in the choices that you make in games like this. I admit, obviously, again, repeating myself. And now we've made it back to the start to where I wanted to. We're back to. I'm repeating myself, but I have not finished the game yet, and.
Sorry.
Isn't
that funny?
Yeah,
But
finished.
It was funny.
You haven't finished the game yet,
Yes.
so
Whenever I say I'm repeating myself, that's what I am repeating. I'm just I'm shorthanding it IRL in real time, just because
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Go ahead.
They brought dinner,
Well,
so
ah,
well,
I have to go eat dinner.
all right. Well, actually, you can listen to what I'm rambling
Yes, I'll
about.
bring my whole ass laptop downstairs.
You can join on your phone. You know what I mean. And I would probably be done by the time you're done with dinner.
I don't know, it's Wendy's, man. Or excuse me, it's probably Wendy's, because when I opened the door, the first thing I said was Wendy's, and my dad was like, I don't know, come down and find out.
Well, does that mean you're heading out now? Jesus.
Does that mean you're
Chair.
heading out now, Jesus?
Chair.
Jesus?
Jesus.
Well, that's not an answer to my question.
Nothing.
Okay. Does that mean
I
you're
have that
heading out
now.
now?
I mean, I can switch to my phone.
Wait, I know.
Yes.
So are you gonna just stay in the arena?
I mean, I guess. I don't fucking know.
All right. Well, how about you just like sit in the spectator stands, and Phoenix and I can run some kind of like just not really thinking.
That's not the spectator stand.
It is not.
I literally went to put it in the spectator stand, and it went slightly past it, so it wasn't lit up anymore.
Choose your fighter.
So Phoenix, how about just hero dittos with spirits, like just so that you know.
Down B only.
Yeah, pretty much.
Top deck only.
Like no, well, down B. Just no real rush because like I know I keep just self-consciously in like saying this, but like this is something that I care about and I have strong feelings about. So I would like. I'm glad we picked the same spirits up, but yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to express my thoughts and opinions.
Of course. I've always heard bits and pieces of your bits and pieces of your thoughts on the routes and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so actually, I should probably wait until oh right, we still have reduced knockback on. That's actually fun.
Sorry, hold on. Someone's talking.
You could just see if you could get Kamikaze Cadel.
Good. Okay, would have been funny.
It's right there. Oh, it was
I know.
right underneath that.
I know. I pushed B down instead of down B. No knockback.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Yeah, I was saying, Audrey, do you want to go and rejoin on your phone before I get any more substantial?
Yeah, can you get Kamikaze?
Sure. Here, I'll get it right here.
What is that? That's not down B.
Okay, Kamikaze. I didn't want them to do it. Especially since I'm going to get it here. Alright.
That insane knockback.
Yeah. Alright, so did you want to go and rejoin on your phone?
Sure.
Alright. And then I'll get started again once you rejoin.
Okay.
Where was I, Phoenix?
Fuck, sorry. Someone walked in, asked me dinner and stuff.
Asked what?
Asked me about dinner and what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm asking where you were, where I was before that happened.
Yeah, I know. I was mentioning why I'm not gonna know.
Okay.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Fuck. Substantial.
Oh yeah, actually, no, you were the one talking, because you were saying that you wanted to hear this, like, my input you hadn't heard before.
I'm gonna mute.
Alright.
Normal
Yeah.
knockback.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because down smash definitely doesn't usually send you. Yeah. Did not send you far at all. when you're at 130. But anyway.
No,
alright.
when you're giant, your knockback is normal as if.
Well, yeah, I know it's like it should be because it's double times half. But like
It didn't seem like it. Continue.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, it is what it is. All right. Okay, so let me finish what I was saying. So, where was I?
Fuck.
What?
I thought I had something, then I didn't. So I remember you got the trailer. You know, it's a war game.
Yeah.
One
So
of the diplomats.
yeah. So like, because you brought up the like peaceful thing, and I don't think that's what I want. It's like I don't want to.
Oh no, I remember. Then you addressed that. You then
Yeah.
I corrected myself, and then you said, yeah, you don't have to have a villain.
Yeah, like no, you should have a villain. It's a tactical.
No,
RPG.
not you don't have to have a villain. You don't have to have a villain who
Yeah.
Fuck. You don't have to have a villain who kills.
I'm not correcting you. I'm expanding.
Okay.
What if? Yeah, both of us were way more focused on that than we should have been. I'm just gonna hand off the controller. This is good, like attention. So, like you can have a villain that is not, one of the other three. Like the fact that they had, like, the whole premise of the war and like. You can correct me if I'm getting anything wrong, by the way. Like, don't obviously don't literally correct me. But like, just in each of the routes, the like big enemy is at least one of the other two houses, pretty much. Like, and there's no way around that. I also know there is like a fourth route you can go with like the church and stuff. That is. I'm not commenting on that. Just like, really? Either of them? All right. Oh, Phoenix. Yeah. Silver Snow, I think. Phoenix, everything all right? Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, you can spectate. That's right. What? Phoenix. Go. Phoenix! Hello? Stop. A little closer. Well, I will get to finish my thoughts eventually. Nah, it's fine. Okay. Are they going to rejoin?
Okay.
Welcome back. What happened?
God, I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Could you hear me when I was asking hello, Phoenix?
Nope, not at all. I couldn't hear anything. I was desperately asking if you guys could hear me. Holy shit.
Yeah, okay. So it was
They-
on their end.
Yeah, no, it was me completely. What happened? For some reason, all of Discord froze. The app, what was once an app, it turned into a screenshot. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't click on anything. I couldn't see anything. I wasn't in the voice chat. It showed me in the voice chat. It was simply a freeze in time. And then slowly the rest of my computer was becoming that, so I just had to leave. I had to restart it.
Yeah, Control R.
No, I was able to fucking pull up the windows with the Windows button, but Google started freezing, and I had like a Messenger open on Google.
You got disconnected. All right, I'll turn on the video just so like you won't be able to hear anything, but it's fine. Coward.
All right, where were you? Sorry about that. God.
It's fine. At the moment I realized you weren't talking, I don't think I got cut off in the middle of anything. I think I noticed. Why is the Audrey, is the video fuzzy for you?
It's not fuzzy for me, if that helps.
It's suddenly not fuzzy for me either. Okay. We're gonna choose to ignore that. Anyway. Yeah. Kind of like when you're getting new lenses. Yeah, that's what I was seeing, but it got better. So I think that's Discord's problem, not anything I can fix. Anyway, so yeah, I would say, like, there is the fourth route, the church route. I'm not commenting on that because, like, I don't have any thoughts on it, like, at all. Like, it's just, I don't have it, like, I don't know enough about it, and I'm not sure it would change my opinion either way. Like, it wouldn't confirm or deny it the way I feel, I don't think. Then again, could be wrong.
I don't have any thoughts.
Yeah.
I am here, by the way. Sorry, Mom just sent me a message. Continue.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through this. But yeah, so the big thing, like, especially with choice-based games with multiple endings, like, you will always want a true ending. Just as a player, I think, like, obviously I can't actually make any sweeping statements. So you know what? I'm not going to. I will always want a true ending.
Fair.
Like, it's just like,
You will always want a true ending.
yeah. Alright. I'm gonna let the fire truck pass.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's Callie, what do you expect?
Oh.
Everything okay?
It is now that I've reconnected. Discord crashed. Did you not notice? You disconnect?
I noticed. I was confused, but man,
Okay, alright. You know what? I'm gonna put the controller down. You can wail on me all you want, because this is like, we're getting to the part where I'm gonna be gesticulating to the air.
oh, fair enough.
Nice kill.
Thanks.
But yeah, so, like, Byleth's presence, I understand that, like, Byleth in universe is an important character. I see there's my community message. What are the eyes for? Okay.
Eyes. she is seeing.
Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, so, like, Byleth is an important character to the storyline, but, like, and, like, they have... When I disconnect... Oh, gotcha, thank you. But, like, there is no... I don't know how to verbalize what I'm saying, but, like, it's with any true, like, true silent protagonist. Like, you're kind of just, like, the vessel for right place, right time decisions. Like, it's hard to, like, put to words, but, like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but yeah, it's just...
I am also trying to process any verbal words to explain.
Yeah, alright. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, move on, assume I'm understood. And, like, Byleth, like, just, it does not matter what you do. Like, it feels like, from what I understand, because, again, I'm repeating myself, but from what I understand, like, even though your actions impact how things go after the fact, your choices leading up to the war mean nothing. Because, like, they don't... Like, they... Sure, you meet the characters, and you have, like, relationships with them and all of that. But they have no larger impact on the story. Like... And, again...
I get exactly what you mean. Like, the big picture, it actually focuses on, like, the intricate details of each character, but in terms of massive picture, in the words of Thanos, the war is inevitable.
Yeah.
And that second half of the story isn't going to really change, no matter what you choose.
And, like, so, for starters, because there were two main points that I came in here, wanting to explain. I already explained one to Audrey, but now I've got a better established one, so I'm going to say that one again, and then I'll get to the second one. But, like, so, fantasy does not have to be escapism. It does not have to be sunshine and rainbows, bunny rabbits all the time. It can be dark, it can be, like, gritty, and it can be, to a degree, realistic. And in that regard, Three Houses is, as far as I'm aware, I'm repeating myself, but as far as I'm aware, a fairly realistic depiction of war.
Well, minus the magic, yes.
Yes, like, just conceptually.
In terms of morals and ethics, yes.
Yeah, like,
combat actually is obviously, of course, not going to be realistic, but
yes,
in terms of war comparison in real life, leaders, politics, whatever,
right,
it's a fairly accurate description.
Like, and like, beyond not like, because obviously, like, there's no real Hitler in the game. Just not, like, nobody.
You can make an argument.
You could make an argument, I'm sure, but, like, there's nobody who's hateful against a group for the, like, out of a superiority complex.
Oh well, yeah.
Like, that's what defines Hitler in my mind, is the superiority complex.
Yeah, you see, that's the fantasy part. All of the reasons. Everyone has a reason.
Yeah, but, like, they're understandable reasons. Like, maybe not realistic or believable. Well, no, maybe not realistic reasons, but believable and understandable reasons.
Yeah, understandable is definitely what I'd say.
And, like, that's the thing. So, but that's the problem. Yeah, you were not saying anything. I appreciate it. It's just, well, like, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's it. Like, but.
Oh, yeah, there are parts, especially in Golden Deer, and I think that's everyone. Claude contributes nothing to the story. He is pointless, and that's because Golden Deer Rat is, in terms of war, fairly. And it focuses a lot more on the fantastical element, especially near the end.
Yeah, it's meant to be like a neutral third party, not actually like it's a part of. They're a part of the war, but it's not the focus.
It's the meme where Dimitri and Edelgard can find the back, and then Claude is just doing the gain side.
Yeah, they're just jealous.
True.
So it's a fairly realistic depiction of, like, to a degree. Like, okay, so all right, so I made this distinction a few sentences ago. I'll use it again. Maybe not realistic, but believable and understandable.
Yeah.
Like, here's where I have a fun with that. It's not meant to teach you what it's like. Conceptually, it's not like an educational experience.
Yeah.
Like, so anyone who recognizes it as an accurate depiction of war doesn't need that to be him. Like, because I want, the happy ending. Now that saying that should be the only ending. Far from it. The existing endings, the one where you go through each route, good. That is excellent. I want that in the game. The way to walk the middle ground. Like, again, we come back to Undertale. If True Pacifist was the only route in, or if Genocide was the only route in the game, or if those two, even if those two, I don't.
Well, yeah. You want that option.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Audrey finish talking. Yeah. If the neutral options, if the neutral routes were the only option, I definitely wouldn't like it as much.
God, no. God. Only neutral route for Undertale. Holy shit.
Yeah. Like,
oh, and there's technically, just technically 15 plus.
Yeah. There's no one dying. Can't really save anyone like you can in Undertale. See, yeah, that is exactly the point. Now, it's not, like, I don't, obviously, a video game. Go ahead.
Bet.
So, like, it's not that, like, I don't want, I don't want people to be able to die. It's not, like, that is not a problem at all. This is already a game with multiple that change, like, depending on what you do. But, options you pick at the, and then all of your other choices are effectively just the characters. The fact that you can only interact with you're supposed to care about the characters, and there's never a situation where you can save all the characters.
Much punishing.
Yeah,
and there's no reward for committing yourself to characters only for them to die if you happen to be characters die.
Yeah, and it's just it's very well implemented in that your is the most justified, and like there's good guys, and then the other two you're playing from the perspective of the bad guys. Like, that's feeling, and maybe that's true, maybe that. I'm not even sure I'll know the answer to that once I have finished the game. Like
I've got nothing for you.
Yeah, like
Are no bad guys and good guys in this game, really?
well, yeah, like that's the thing. But you're forced to treat at least one of them as if they are. Yeah, like, well, like, and the reason I say diplomatic approach is the natural, like, thing. Like, obviously, you could do other things. Find the magic demon that's the source of, and then round everyone up, and just like, yeah, there's other options. But that's like just the way that I would recommend implementing a hypothetical, you know.
And ironically enough, the most realistic way high government would approach war is to not do it.
Yeah. And it's just like that whole thing of Audrey's typing. I'll let her finish.
I mean, maybe not in this universe. So one of the fantastical elements is that in this universe, it's very unlikely the war wouldn't happen due to the characters, but even then...
Well, that's... I'll respond to that.
Upwards. Fuck.
Explicitly say they'd rather not go to war, that they hate the people are fighting. Yeah.
Ignatz, my beloved.
Stop calling characters your beloveds.
Well, I love Ignatz!
I'm kidding.
Whatever, continue.
Yeah, I was messing, but yeah, it's just like there's a certain degree it grounds it, it makes it believable, and I think that's pretty much all you should go for in fantasy. Need to go for in fantasy is like, unless you are trying to make the player, etc., feel like lost and confused intentionally, like, which there is application for. There's application for everything, obviously. Unless you are trying to do that, yeah. Like I got slapped in the face by an NPC. All right, well, I'll be interested to see that one. Yeah, so just like fantasy, like you should ground it in a sense of realism that, like, reader, viewer, player, etc. stakes that they, like, for me though, the existence of human characters that you care about, that's, I don't need to know that I should, like, it's just like, so it's less that, like, I don't think there should be a war at all. That's the opposite. Like, the war is a problem, and I like playing games to solve problems.
And it just so happens that the way to solve war is to not go.
Which isn't an option. Yeah.
But
realistic. That is a realistic implement, like, action. And like I said, not necessary. Like, don't, like, this is a world of fireballs and magic and dragons, and, like, need, like, to be reminded, like, that just, it's not necessarily, because if war was inevitable, humanity wouldn't be here.
the Cold War would have happened.
We would have blown each other up in the 60s. Like, so, yep.
You were just saying the word bad, you didn't put the period, so I got confused. Yeah.
Mutually
The
assured
fucking-
destruction.
Yeah, the fucking the agreement, not the word.
But yeah, it's just like
I mean, yeah, if war was sort of what
yeah, it's like there is. I put my controller back down to gesticulating. So, but, and I'm an optimistic person in general, but also just like the idea that we as humans will naturally conflict, and like it's not like we'll naturally disagree, sure, lead to conflict, and it doesn't always.
agree with that. I've always war being the universal language.
Yeah, like natural status that I do understand, that I do know, that I am a scientist. That is true, but
Yeah.
like it's just so the fact that all right, I would be fine with that. Like I would have just a little like nagging issue with it. I'm gonna let Audrey finish typing.
Oh well, I'll just add in the meantime. I always have said that love or emotion.
That is also not really a spoiler, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned they're at war from the beginning. No, not really. I did just play the beginning. First thing Gerald says is there hasn't been a war like the one described in Violet's Dream in centuries. So there's probably conflict from the beginning, that I believe, but they're not at war yet.
It links to what you're saying, Cadel. You agree that there can be disagreements.
Yes.
That disagreements are inevitable between humans, but not conflict.
Yeah. Like,
well, in this case, it is conflict, but like not war conflict. But
all right. Try to recover with one hand. I did it earlier in the corner match, but all right. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting towards the end. Only one or two more matches, probably. Man, I want to play Blue Lions. From what I understand, that probably should have been the one you started with, and like just because of the one specific cutscene. But I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, go ahead.
everyone starts with Golden Deer because it's the most fun.
Yeah. You know what cutscene? Yeah. All right. It's pretty common. Just like the fact that you hadn't been spoiled for it means we should have told you to start with that one. But whatever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Okay. I'm gonna let Audrey finish talking. You accidentally hit your keyboard. Keep going. Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume that's what happened there too. So I'm gonna assume. Also, you were disconnected to this microwave. Ah. Oh. Sorry. Oh, earlier. That was okay. No, like right now. But well, yeah. But that's probably what happened earlier too. Okay, but anyway, no. Nobody was home. Okay, then I got nothing. Okay, anyways, I was saying, like, like I would be fine with, like, the concept of the story just being, like, oh, there's no one, like, okay, let me amend what I just said. I would not be fine with it. It would be a criticism in my mind. But, like, it would just be, something of my personal taste. something that like I would have preferred it if they did it like this, instead of the way they did do it. But like just the idea of a story where there's a war that happens, you happen to have been there, and like you're an important character. I know that at least in Black Eagle's group, Byleth is an important like Byleth has direct impact on what happens. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. It's just like even then, like the idea of you being like kind of an unwilling, unwitting, just like you're just stuck here and you have to be a part of the war and you just choose which side you're on. Like that on its own, I'd be okay with, I guess. Like, I would not. This isn't Melee.
I mean, it is.
My hands are off the controller. Would you like to try again?
I mean, now you're at 80.
But yeah, it's just like I wouldn't hate the idea of a game where you're going through and you are like there's a war that's been started and you pick a side, you pick which one you support, and you like get help from and give help to the people on the side that you chose. If one route was like explicitly evil, like they are supposed to be the bad guys, and it's not like they're never pretended to be anything other than that, that would be something I genuinely had no problem with. So like, but then there's three things that stop Three Houses. Again, repeating myself, haven't finished the game, etc. So on. But yeah, there's three things that stop Three Houses from being that in my eyes. First is the thing two of them I already brought up to you, Phoenix. First is, like I said, you like all of the characters. You will like all of the characters. This is like not really up for debate because you're always going to like the characters.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's more like, attachment.
Yeah, I say like in a different sense, and you know that.
Yeah.
Because I like
respect.
If I dislike a character and I feel that I'm supposed to, or if I like dislike a character even if I don't feel I'm supposed to because of a personality trait they have that is clearly like deliberately designed for them. Like even if I'm not supposed to dislike them, like there's still it's just like it's like they're a real person. That like that's
I think the more apt would be liking you will like the character design of all the characters.
Like Haikyuu. Audrey and I have watched his character Orikawa, who, from what I understand from the fandom, is very well liked for a multitude of reasons. I do not like him, and I have a feel like I understand. I'm like I will, yes, maybe. Right as of right now, I do not like him as a person, and I like him because I know that I'm not supposed to like him as a person yet. And hey, maybe that opinion will change. Maybe it won't. But like that's not the point. It's like me not liking. Yeah. So it's just like character development is one thing, and so is like gaining context from backstory. That's like
so
what?
As me and Audrey have discussed a lot, Sylvain, you don't need to have played the game that much to understand from what we've talked about.
All right, yeah. I'll let Audrey have input. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like that's one thing. Gaining context from a character's backstory and like having it justify their behavior, even if the behavior itself doesn't change. That's like not as well. It's like I just hold it to a different standard than character development, but like it's still, a thing that makes me like a character, even if I don't like them as a person. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that's the once again, it's like you like the character design versus their actual personality.
Wait, you have an important image you were looking for this whole time and just found. Okay.
It's kind of like how I like Mementos for how it was designed. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I like Mementos, the song, for how it was designed, and honestly, the place. But, don't like the song because it's designed not to be liked, but I like that it was designed to not be liked, and it pulled it off.
See, and for me, it's like, there is a balance. Okay. I'm going to let Audrey send her thing. See.
It's a Mercedes. Stop it.
Okay, so hands are off the controller again, because now I'm going to... Because you brought up Mementos, and it's just like that was like something that my brain was waiting for, and it clicked. Because like, the reason I dislike, so yes, it is a similar thing. Like, you like it for its design, even, like, it's supposed to be bad intentionally, and that is, like, I'm starting to realize where I'm inevitably going to go with this conversation, and I'm debating whether or not I want to, so give me a second. Phoe, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a mood are you in right now?
Like 4.
Okay. Is everything alright?
School. And also, I had a lot of shit happen like a couple days ago that I'm still not over.
Alright.
I think it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago or yesterday. I don't even remember.
Okay, well, in that case, I will abstain, and I'll try to, talk around this.
Alright.
Are you, unless, because,
Well, I mean, is there just not a way to go back to Fire Emblem?
Well, there is, but, it helps make my point.
I mean, I'm not in the mental headspace to take anything.
Well, it's not specifically about you. I'm, I want you to understand this is not a... Alright, so, I will go through it as long as you, I'm going to be talking about Little Mac.
He's a bad character.
So, I want you to understand, none of what I'm, saying here is, as much as I know we joke about it a lot, but, legitimately, none of what I'm saying here is supposed to be about you as a person, okay?
Okay.
I'm critiquing the character. And I'm going to explain what I mean, alright?
Alright.
That hit you. But yeah, it's just I thought that was going to hit me. But yeah, so just the difference for me, because we're talking about liking things because of the way they're designed, even if they're designed to be, parking lot.
Don't mind them.
Yeah. How did they laugh at the exact same way 3 times?
I wish I knew.
Okay, alright, but anyway, so, you brought up Mementos. For me, there's a balance. Okay, so I've brought this up before, but I think... Actually, I might not have brought it up with you guys, but, I believe that, I don't really think that any form of entertainment can be judged objectively, or like, I think all of them have to be judged subjectively, but I think that video games require the most subjective evaluation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, there's, with books, you're engaging, you know, your sight and your word comprehension and your imagination. Like movies and TV, film in general, those engage both your eye, like your Phoe, have been tagged. Videos, just any visual medium, like you engage both your. What's that? Ah, I see.
Continue. You can continue.
Yeah, you just suddenly, like, there was suddenly a loud crash, creaking, groaning sound, and then you started typing. So it was just like, yeah.
Oh
so
yeah, I had to move my chair.
Yeah. So books engage your sense of sight to read words and your reading comprehension. Visual mediums, movies, TV, etc., with the exception of silent films, they engage, you know, audio and video, sight and sound. So
well, even then, silent films had music.
Yeah. Well, like, but yes, that is true. But that's not like the music.
I mean, like, it's not the same. You don't actually need to pay attention.
Well,
That's more. It's more just
no. That actually no. You know what? You're right, because the music has to not necessarily correspond with, but it can't be at odds with the like content in the film and the video. Like,
that's why you always hear the fucking upbeat chipper stuff when there's crazy wacky stuff happening in a silent film, and they're all moving around super quickly and crazy.
It is a deliberate choice. Like, if I were going to make a silent film today and I wanted to make a comedic silent film, I wouldn't put Doom music over it.
Probably not.
You know, like, so it like that
unless it's the Animal Crossing version.
Yeah, unless it would make it funnier, which, you know, maybe it would in certain situations. Like. But, like, it's stuff like that. There's always a decision to be made, like, of, you know, how do you implement the visuals? How do you implement the audio? And how do you blend those two things together? And, like, obviously there's more to it than that. There's acting and writing and, you know, there's many things that you can criticize and, like, evaluate about those mediums. But with video games, the player is directly interacting with and changing the product.
And I think that's why critics always get flack and are just a bad idea for video games, because you can't criticize most video games these days, because it's like every video game, every player who plays it is playing a different movie.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it. That's an excellent way to put it. But so, and I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna explain it in my way. So everything in existence, every product of any kind, has two things: a concept and an execution.
Yes.
So for the, like, I would say books, you can like, so the more and the more moving parts there are in the execution, the harder it is to criticize the concept. Video games have the most moving parts.
Yeah. It's why, like, a lot of the time people agree on fighting game evaluation. Unless, you know, the critics are like, it's too hard, then people are just like, well, that's your skill, and it's just back to the beginning. It's just like in a movie, where if you don't understand the movie, people are like, well, that's just you being dumb, LMAO.
Yeah, like,
that's why fighting games are like,
but then again,
agreed on.
Yeah, sometimes that's true. Sometimes it isn't.
Sometimes.
And you never know, like, you don't trust the general public to like figure out what that is. But everyone else, like, always draws the line of what's acceptable just below what they're doing themselves. Like,
Yeah.
universally across the board. And I'm no exception. Like, I'm gonna let Audrey finish typing. Unless she's typing more emojis. Hold on.
Oh. Audrey is gone.
Yeah. I promise I am getting, like, somewhere close to the end of what I'm trying to say. Welcome back, Audrey.
You better be. No, I'm kidding. I found some memes.
You found some memes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And by some memes, I just mean one that has Felix in it.
Kiddo?
Yeah, I laughed at the meme. I was just... so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, alright. Yeah, so video games have the most moving parts. Like, even the simplest video game, like, even, I would argue, Pong is probably harder to criticize than a book. Sometimes, like, than certain books. Not every book, obviously, but, like, there's, like, so much that you, like, because there's so, like, with every moving part in execution, each and every one has a reason for being the way that it is. Like,
Go pause.
what?
Have you had anything to drink in the past 2 hours?
Yes, I have a water bottle here.
Okay. Your voice started doing the thing that mine does when I have been talking for a while and I haven't had anything to drink. So.
Yeah, that's just what mine does when I'm, like the little husky voice. You know, I mean, I guess it is because I'm talking for longer periods of time than usual, but, like, it's just like I see it, like, it's not detrimental.
Your throat's like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
We have important things to say. But yeah, so, like, any video game, it has, like, so many moving parts, and each and every what's up, Audrey?
I dropped my lid.
Yeah. Each and every like, moving part has a reason for it to move in the way that it does. And this is why, like, it's I'm not gonna say impossible. Like, you can, and obviously this isn't universal. It varies depending on the book or the movie or the show or the game, or so on and so forth. But, like, the more moving parts an entertainment product has, the harder it is to criticize the concept and not the execution. And when it comes down to it, the execution also has to be criticized subjectively, because, like, objective evaluations don't mean anything. Like, here, Phoenix, wrap a jab. Not me. I was moving away from you for a reason. Look at his leg, just, you know,
What the fuck is going on with his leg?
Yeah, just... Where's that purple light? Where's that purple lighting coming from?
He's breaking the barrier between physical plane and the plane of light.
Yeah. Where's the smoke from coming off of Incineroar coming from?
His belt, duh.
Really? Then, why isn't it here right now?
Because he's controlling it with his mind.
Why wasn't he controlling it before?
Because he sucks. I don't know.
Precisely. You walked into the point.
How do the characters double jump? You can't do that. You can't jump in midair.
You mean you can't jump in? You can't double jump in real life?
Can you?
That's a problem. You're
Yeah.
bad.
Prove it. Where'd the boxing ring come from?
Cadel,
Guy,
get to the point.
Lamau.
These are
The
like
point is, you can't
this-
base things off the surface.
objectively, these are flaws. Everything I have listed so far is an objective flaw. Like this, because, but it also depends on what your definition of objective is. Like, what do you think this should objectively be? Like, I'm using realism just because like that's one that I see a lot. But like, so like, it's not possible to judge objectively. Like, I'm struggling to find my words, but like, you get the idea of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find words too. Whenever you can't find words, I immediately look for words because sometimes it works.
Like, yeah, it's just like, because like it's all subjective and like judging. You want to judge execution because judging concept in something with so many moving parts in the execution is damn near impossible because
I got disconnected.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I said the word. You can summarize it basically by like, it's just don't read a book by its cover, the surface, stuff like that.
maybe like
Similar. At least.
similar, yeah. It's just like because so like even if there's a truly terrible concept, it's like the old like writing saying, good characters can carry a bad story. There's like that characters are execution, story is concept. So the thing is like you can't just criticize concept. You have to like if there's like a certain number of moving parts.
Sorry.
What's up?
I'm laughing at a gif of one of Felix insulting support conversations. He's
So
like, dude, are you okay? Sorry.
yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember the point I was trying to make.
Oh my god.
So it is not possible to like. It's not that it's not possible. It's just it is incredibly difficult to criticize only the concept and not the execution. But it is impossible to criticize the execution without like at least acknowledging the concept and making a decision about what it is. Which that's really what I'm getting at the core of this. Unless you're told what the concept is explicitly in no uncertain terms, it's always going to be an interpretation on your part. And that's subjective in and of itself. Like, but if it is told to you in no uncertain terms, it becomes incredibly easy to criticize and evaluate. And that's like and that's where I draw the distinction. And also, even if if it's evident from the execution, like because it's never explained to you explicitly by the developer that those purple smears on Fox's leg are to just denote impact. They're to make it have weight, and when it hits you, it feels like it should do damage. It's window dressing.
Window dressing?
Window dressing. Like it's
Window
just like,
dressing.
Yeah, you know that which I refer to, correct?
Literally never fucking heard anyone say that in my life.
All right.
What? Sorry, I totally tuned out for a second.
Window dressing.
Yeah. I don't like. What do you want from me? It's a very common phrase. Anyway, Phoenix, you there?
Sorry, hold on.
Okay. promise I'm almost done. Sorry for hogging the conversation.
It's okay.
Discord disagrees. Discord apparently disagreed.
That was perfect timing. Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna keep looking at pictures of Felix. I am listening though.
Alright. Well, I'm waiting for Phoenix. So.
I'm also looking at pictures of Felix though. So that's a nice one.
Sorry, continue.
So the biggest problem with criticizing concept and not the biggest problem with criticizing any entertainment project. I tried to say I tried to say product, project, and process all at the same time, and I realized that all three are actually technically correct.
Project.
So, but yeah, it's just like the problem with like criticizing or evaluating any of them is that like you can't like I don't know what the correct answer is. I don't even think I have an opinion on what the correct answer is yet that I am willing to share that I don't think would change in the next 30 minutes because like it's so like it is so case by case and like criticizing the execution for me amounts to did the person who like attempted like I just do it as bare bones as I can. They were attempting to execute this concept. They succeed. Like, and what helped them to do so, what harmed them in the process. That's what I consider to be a good approach to criticism of a of a concept like this. And it will be subjective. I don't think it can ever not be. Because like something that's like even if it's like as simple as a integral to a racing game to you might be completely throwaway to someone else. So like it's hard to like conceptualize that like so I don't remember who's saying this is. I should because it's like I stand by it. Critical thinking is the act of entertaining a mindset
Yeah.
that's like told very highly. That's something I try to do as I can. It's part of the reason I myself as much as I can. Because like I want to improve. I want to be a voice of authority. And like it can't be a like say play a game on the easiest mode. Obviously not. Like I always want to be the best that I can be. And just jump in the deep end. Try not to drown. Like now, not always, obviously. There are certain situations where I don't think that's the best approach for me. Control. I can choose my starting level. And I appreciate a challenge. There you go. It's like there was a link there. Backtrack. So
There was a link there.
yes, I realized as soon as I said it, I was hoping not to get it out. Anyways, yeah. So with it's and when it's something like where I don't know for sure supposed to dislike him. It's never been explicitly told to me, but I can. He's a rival. He's like very antagonistic and towards one of the mains. He's
Name.
What'd you say?
I said you can say his name.
Wait, no. I'm putting this into a vacuum because that's what I'm trying to like. So he's intentionally antagonistic towards one of the main characters. He's arrogant. He treats his teammates in a way that I don't particularly see as
He treats them like pawns and not like.
Yes. Well, it's like another way to put it that I'm pretty sure I have put it better previously, but for the moment, that's a good starting place. So for the moment, I assume that I am intended to dislike this person because this person does things that I feel are natural to dislike. Deducing the concept from the execution. And that is it sounds natural to put it like that, but if you think about it, try to figure out what someone is trying to do from what they're just physically doing. It's a lot easier said than done most of the time. And I try this is one of the I try very hard to be able to do that, to look at what someone is doing, what action they are executing in any environment or scenario. Be able to figure out what is the concept, what is the reason for this, and just figure out from context. This, and it naturally. We're taught to do it naturally as children, but then it's just we never progress beyond the level that we naturally get to as children, unless we actively try to, or at least I don't.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, I'm getting the call.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. This one doesn't this one actually. I don't need them to be here, so I'm just gonna keep going. It's just the concept, deducing the concept. Oh, yeah.
I found a color that matches.
Deducing concept from execution, deductive reasoning in and of itself is very useful. It's a very helpful thing to do. But just in general, figuring out what the intent behind an action was, just from the action itself and the context that it's in. Not only is it fun for me, not only do I think it's good, it's also very indicative, I guess, of how I feel towards video games. Because everything about concept is only in the design room. It's it's depicted through execution. You look at there's so much detail everywhere. So Incineroar is a wrestler. He's very he's flexing his muscles. He's glaring at you. He's taunting you like that. It's all stuff like that. There's how they execute it is what makes you know the concept. Well, in general. In this case, I do know the concept because I know Incineroar's design concept from Pokemon. And I can see they executed it well. And I can see that with other characters that I know the design concepts for. Primarily Pokemon, but also others, Kirby. And I can use that, the knowledge that, this right here, this is a good representation. I can extrapolate that and I can apply it to other characters. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You look at this and you go, this is a good execution of the concept. And you figure, and you assuming that, look at the execution and figure out what the concept is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because once you know what the concept is, you can criticize it as such. The problem is working backwards and working forwards aren't equivalent. Like, if you're figuring out what the concept is from execution, and then you find out you were wrong, like in something like there is a concept that is explicitly explained, and it wasn't like what you were told from the execution. It's like that is a criticism of the execution, because it did not sufficiently explain to you what the concept was, or it misled you. But from like, and obviously, victim of my own social circle, I don't actually know what like sample size is or anything. But what I see so much is that it is treated as a criticism of the concept, that like the actual concept.
I have returned.
Welcome back. I was bringing up. I found my words, and I can say them for you quickly. So, working backwards to find concept from execution is like
What?
not. Nope.
Hold on. Sorry.
No worries. Everything all right?
Yeah. Sorry.
I think I have seen that one, Audrey. It's still funny.
I watched the video that it's from. And that's why I don't know if you. This is so loud. I don't know if you heard me like smack my hand against my mouth, but I was watching the video and that's why.
Yeah. I don't actually. I don't recognize the. I didn't know it as being from a video. I just thought I saw it in Google search results. But
It's a thumbnail. But I found it in Google search results.
Well, anyway, so as I was saying, Phoenix, what you missed. Hello.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Okay, just making sure. It was just yeah. So you can you can try to deduce from the execution, which is everything about the game.
Wait.
Okay. Well, I'm. No.
Am I never gonna join again?
I mean, like. Okay. Like my hands are off the controller, so
I don't have a spirit set equipped.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I was joking, Phoenix. But
Oh.
I don't think
See,
Phoenix was paying 100% attention.
No, I don't either.
If you want, I can pay more attention to the Smash Bros, but I'm kind of limited to 2, you guys.
Yep.
Yep,
That's exactly how I thought this was gonna go.
Okay, yeah, I'm putting the controller down. So, like, concept execution. I will get this point out. I swear to the lords above. So, like, you can criticize, or not criticize. You can try to deduce the concept based on your interpretation of what the execution is trying to, is trying to tell you. Oh, that was just sad.
Yeah, I don't have a spirit set equipped.
I know, but the fact that
I went from 0 to 74% in 2 hits.
I'm aware, but just the fact that he just stood there, nothing happened. But yeah, just so you can criticize. God, keep trying. You can deduce the concept from your interpretation of what the execution is trying to tell you. Like I said, Oikawa, he's kind of arrogant. He's kind of a jerk. And
Glad I rejoined.
What'd you say?
I said I'm glad I rejoined.
Yeah.
We can play some matches soon.
Yeah. I'm trying to finish this up so that we can.
I know.
Just
Okay. Just keep going.
okay. Well, Phoenix, like, are you gonna SDs that Audrey can come back in with the spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is everything all right, Phoenix? You sound distracted.
Yeah,
They are distracted.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm
Well,
good, they say as they walk off the cliff.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like my spirit sets are any good.
Well, we can actually, you know what? Maybe we can work on that together later. Like later, as in, well, maybe later tonight. Depends.
If my game will ever fucking load.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was bizarre. But yeah, so if the execution of a concept leads you to interpret the concept as being a certain thing, like Oikawa is, I assume, like from what I have seen, he is a jerk. I do not like him. I think he is not very self-aware of the way that he treats people around him, and I believe that to be intentional based on other things I have seen. And I believe it to be intentionally executed as well. Like, because that's the thing. You have to assume that everything that is executed that you are interpreting was done intentionally. Like, there's obviously death of the author and everything, but like, artists can create compelling art subconsciously as well. And
I don't remember what are in these.
like, so death of the author is one thing, and it's one I keep in mind, but like, with video games especially, like, there's a reason it's death of the author and not death of the writer, because even making the step up from book to film, there's so many more moving parts. But like, video games are on their own level. But like in a film example, going back to Oikawa, like, I assume that it is intentional that I do not like him, that because of the way he behaves. I assume that, like, you know, it's meant to draw a deliberate parallel that I am drawing. So I, you know, choose to believe that, you know, it's that is the concept. That the concept is that he is a dislikable person. Now, if I were explicitly told by the creators, no, you were supposed to like him, that wouldn't be a criticism. Like, then I would have criticism, obviously, because no, I don't like him, and I don't understand what would be supposed to make me like him from what I've seen so far.
Also, I feel like there'd be a lot if the creators outright told,
well,
hey, no, you're supposed to like him.
Well, I mean, you say that. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But, like, just for starters, like, just because I learned the execution first and then drew a, like, conclusion about what the concept is, and that conclusion was wrong, that's still a criticism of the execution, not the actual concept. Like, if I was supposed to, like, if, say, Oikawa was supposed to be, like, my favorite character, if that's the way they intended to write him, like, my instinct that is wrong is to, like, say, well, that's a bad idea, because he's clearly so unlikable. But that is based on a concept that I was mistaken on. So it's not the fault of the concept, it's the execution.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is, and this does tie into video games, because, like, the concept, like, that's what happens if you draw a conclusion about the concept first. But, like, if you're explicitly told the concept ahead of time,
It was me.
Yeah. Like, even if you don't have an answer to why the execution is the way it is, and you are given a concept, like, you can still criticize the execution. Now, 9 times out of 10, I will not, my method of criticism is trying to find an answer to, okay, well, what makes this the way it is? Just make it, I will, literally try to make it make sense. And I think that's much more fun than trying to just say it doesn't. And, for instance, Oikawa, I think... How did that go through you and hit me?
I spot dodged.
Well, but, yeah, so, Oikawa, I believe I am correct in my interpretation of the concept. In which case, I believe it's a good concept because it's well executed. But I'm assuming that, I have no way of knowing that whether or not I'm supposed to be disliking Oikawa because I haven't, nobody's told me. So I have to assume, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense that, the guy who was disliked is a jerk. I'm not supposed to like him. So that is a victory for the concept I think it is. But if I was told going into it ahead of time, and obviously this is based on, where I am. I know that things change, but it's based on what I know so far. So going into it, oh, you're gonna love Oikawa. He's the best character in season 1. And I get into it, and he's the way he is in the show that I watched. It's just kind of a jerk. I would question what is supposed to make me like him, and I could have answers to that question, but they would I can think of a few right now, but they would be very hard to come by. And that is a problem with the execution. Now...
Yeah, because, if you change the concept, it's still the execution is what carries the concept.
Yes. Now, that being said... No, actually, no. I got backwards. So, it's... Unless the concept is, literally, directly...
Okay.
It's not worth criticizing, I don't think. And even then, everyone's interpretation on what is directly harmful will be different. Sick combo. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, so that brings me back to, so I finally got this part out, and I can go back to the original thing that brought this up, which is mementos.
Right.
So, conceptually, the concept, it's literally explicitly explained to us. Mementos is a, manifestation of the general public and their, mentality, psyche, whatever. Cognition, that's the word. And so, yes, it is supposed to be a bleak, boring, dull, just mess. It's not... that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Picked up the control for a second, just thought I would contribute. But yeah, it's just that's what it is supposed to be. And in that regard, in the song in particular, it succeeds. The problem is that that's not the only concept. In any video game, there are multiple concepts at work. You shouldn't have reversed up. But yeah, also good job, Bobby. But yeah, so, yes, there is the concept, of design, of... What?
What?
Oh. my controller was buzzing and vibrating, and I was just like hearing it, and I was just like, "What is going on?" But yeah, so obviously there is the concept of design, and in design, Memento succeeds. It has executed the concept and sufficiently now, granted, it has directly explained to the player what that concept is, but I would consider it a successful execution of that concept in terms of, trying to represent that. Hello?
Hi.
Just checking.
I was letting you talk.
It was lagging. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah, it's so it explains, it explains in air quotes, what the concept is, the dull music, and everything. The problem is that that makes it okay as a just on paper.
Yeah.
So the problem is that's not the only concept at work, and it never is. Because the thing with Oikawa is, for example, I'm going to bring it back.
I final snatched. It didn't hit you, and then you parried. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I don't pain. Continue, Cadel.
Okay. Yeah. So
You were on Oikawa again.
Oikawa
I think that happened. Like you've told me about that before. One of you told me about that happening. It's like a Young Link's Final Smash or whatever. And
Oh yeah, Young Link's Final Smash hitbox. It's shockingly bad.
Toon Link's is worse. The Young Link's is better, but it's also weird. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So Oikawa also fulfills multiple Oikawa isn't even from a video game, but even then, still fulfills multiple concepts because yes, he's in a just isolated. He is, supposed to be a jerk, and he's supposed to be disliked, I assume, and he succeeds in doing that. But then the other concept is he succeeds in providing an antagonist to the main characters. Now, I understand that there will probably be other antagonists as the series goes on, but as of season 1 and season 2, he was the antagonist, and his execution succeeds in both regards, both as because there's the small scale one. Well, not necessarily small scale. It's hard for me to visualize in my head the hierarchy of needs and stuff, because it's complex, it's nuanced. But so there's the need for the character to have an independent, well-defined personality, and how you were supposed to feel about him, and the execution of that. And then as a broader concept, there's where they fit into the larger world. Which is that's a universal thing. That's something that is that needs to be considered as a concept in every character, in every form of, every form of media really, but every form of television too. Just having characters show up and not really just make sense to the story. Because even if Claude not having any impact on the story as a criticism, he's still a good character, and he has connection, communication with the others. So he fits into the world, even if story-wise he doesn't do anything. Which I'm repeating myself again. Don't know how accurate any of this is, but you get the idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing with Mementos is, in terms of its design concept, of it is, it's supposed to be dull and dreary, and bland because that's how the cognition of the general public is. And like, okay, sure, yes, that it succeeds in its execution of that concept. However, in the concept of an overworld theme, where you need to be from say 30 to 40% of a 100-hour RPG.
I wouldn't say 30%. It's definitely low 25, but I can.
For ideally, a lot of players like grinding, and this is.
Oh well, yes, you're going to be spending at minimum 30 if you do grind.
Yeah, and this is the and obviously you don't have to grind. That's one of the appeals of Persona 5.
I had to grind because I actually underleveled myself.
Well, yeah, it's just you don't have to grind the way you do in other RPGs. Dragon Quest literally has an automatic grind button for you. You died, Phoenix.
Yes, I'm aware. Sorry. You continue talking. I'm listening.
Alright, yeah. But yeah, Dragon Quest is an automatic grind button. It's just you push the button and it does it for you. So, compare that to Persona 5. And, the difference is on clear display.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, you have to do grinding too. And the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Except the original Final Fantasy VII is worse.
Yeah. But, it's... So, when... It's something like that. So compare, you have to, I was gonna spike Phoenix, but then I just died. But yeah, so if you want to grind, which is a very common thing in the genre, obviously it can be tedious, it's controversial, it's individual, but if you would like to grind, Mementos is the place you do it. So the fact that in terms of it's supposed to yes, it is supposed to replicate the idea that the general public is very bland and drab and etc. But
hive mind.
Yes, but when that's
the idea.
Yeah, but when that's how you go about the world, and you just listen to that on end, it crosses the line into this succeeds in the execution of design, but fails in the execution of implementation. Because you don't want your player to be bored. Ever. That's counter... that's one of the things, no, there is never an application for your player of your video game being bored. Anticipatory, maybe. If nothing's happening and it makes them, antsy and they want something to happen, that's one thing. But you don't want your player to be bored. And that's what Mementos is designed to do. That brings into question, am I criticizing the concept or the execution?
Oh! That is... See, the execution of that...
Sorry,
nothing. Just some wild shit happened. Yeah, that calls into question.
Yeah, because, can a concept be a form of execution? Of a larger concept? I would say so. But then that opens up a huge can of worms.
Right, so let's,
human philosophy.
You said... Right, but a while ago you said this looped into Little Mac somehow,
yes,
and we want to get back to Fire Emblem.
I was actually just about to bring that up, because, so, this is Smash Ultimate. In this game, characters are very incentivized to jump. Every character except for one has a 3-frame jump squat. Like everyone's aerials are pretty like almost uniformly useful.
And also, jumping is incentivized from ledge.
Yeah.
Character does an option that covers both rolls and a neutral getup and a getup attack. What do you do?
Yeah, they're dangerous. They're safe. Like, so this is execution. That leads me to believe the concept is that aerial presence is, very incentivized. Like, or not incentivized. The concept is that aerial presence is the focus, or was at least part of the focus of this game. So, because we've never explicitly been told, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, scratching my ear a little too much, but yeah. So, this Little Mac, his character design is he is a boxer. He's and a glass cannon with an intentionally bad recovery and poor aerial presence. And in that sense, he succeeds in doing what he was conceptually designed to do. But in terms of his place in the fighting game where aerial presence seems to be most incentivized, that is execution that has failed. But it failed because his concept was destined to fail.
I mean, yeah, everyone in Smash knew it, and I think Introspective or someone made a video on it. When Doc Lewis in his original trailer said, "You ain't no air fighter, Mac," dying off stage after aerial, people were like, hey, then why would you make this concept? Why would you execute him in this concept fighting?
Yeah, it is it's an interesting thought experiment, but it maybe should have stayed that way, because not only is the execution power and speed on the ground is what he's given to offset his poor aerial presence, which again succeeds in the execution of the concept of his design, fails in the execution of concept to incentivize his fighting, because it just incentivizes his opponents to run away.
Yeah.
So when aspects of one concept, being executed successfully, cause that execution to fail in other concepts, that is when I would consider the concept itself to be not necessarily a failure, but that's when I would criticize it most severely.
Yes. Yeah. I am listening, by the way. You can continue.
Yeah. I'm almost done. So finally, that brings me back to Fire Emblem, where and I know it's been a while, but I want to remind you, we had just finished discussing Undertale, because Undertale took this concept and ran with it beautifully. Audrey? Hello?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I heard you punch your microphone twice.
I didn't punch my microphone.
Well, so, concept execution. The reason I brought all of this up is just the concept of Three Houses. My brain kept saying Breath of the Wild. I was just no, that's not it.
Fire Emblem, Breath of the Wild, my favorite.
Not to be confused with The Legend of Zelda: Three Houses. Yeah, the concept of Three Houses is there's a war that's gonna happen. I'm actually going to mic mute it so that I can read off what you said because it's very good. You put it very well. Like, the concept is, like, there's no route where you're safe from anyone dying. Someone will always die. Or is that the execution? Because I would argue that that is the execution. The concept is the war itself. The fact that there is a war that is going to happen. And also the concept is, you know, the entire fantasy setting of Phoe. But, like, it's... the execution of, like... Alright, I think I'm actually, like, getting really close to the end here, so I'm gonna, like, loop back around. I'm gonna start with the thing that I've already said, but now I've, like, given you guys some context externally that might be related from your perspective. It might not. I would hope I'm communicating myself effectively here, but so my biggest problems as a person who has not finished Fire Emblem Three Houses. My biggest problem is the fact that you are incentivized to like the characters. You are incentivized to want to help them solve problems, not just by, you know, the game itself, but just by virtue of the fact that they exist in, you know, a fantasy universe.
Yeah, but I understand what you mean.
Like, just... Now, and I'm using this as a hypothetical, like, larger you for more objective language because it flows better, but, like, generally I mean because, like, I feel incentivized. I think I would feel incentivized.
Wait,
like,
I'll fight the final smash with a punch.
I think I would feel incentivized to like the characters, and I'm just, as a person, I want to be able to help people in video games. That is, so the fact that, you know, you can't help everyone there, I will always want, and I think that it is common to want, a secret true route where you can save everyone and help everyone and everyone will be happy. And the game incentivizes you to want that, and it does not give it to you. Phoenix, is everything alright?
Ugh. School and shit.
Alright. Just checking, because... No. No move for you. Anyway.
You were saying.
Yeah. It's just like, I was recapping how I felt. So, the fact that the game makes you want to help everyone and doesn't, like, let you is, like, I would consider it a failure. Like, not as a whole, but, like, you want to help these people. You want to like these people. You do like these people. The game wants you to like them. And it doesn't let you help all of them at once. And it's like... And the reason I brought everyone... that is, like... I'm not sure whether to call that a failure of the concept or execution. Because I don't know whether or not it was... Alright, we've come head to head to it. I don't... This is the one thing that, like, I think this is the reason I've been rambling, because I want... This is the thing I want you guys' opinions on. This is what I want input on, and this is how I want, you know... Like, I want someone else to tell me how to feel, I guess. because I keep thinking about it, and I keep coming back to it, and I just can't wrap my head around which way I feel.
About what, Cadel? You've talked about 20 different things this entire thing.
That's what I was trying to get you guys ready. That's why I was like being like this is a thing that like I want. Could we stop for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Like this, like I want your guys' input on a specific, like I'm getting to it. I promise. This is build up. I'm not doing it to be dramatic. I'm doing it to better explain why I'm having trouble, so that I don't have to do it afterwards. Because this is something I've gone back and forth on a ton. I wouldn't even say back and forth. I've not gone in either way. I'm looking for some other way to put it than these two options, and I'm not sure there is one. But, alright, so, like I said, Fire Emblem Three Houses incentivizes you to want a true final route where you can save everyone, and everyone ends with a happily ever after. And it does not give it to you. I don't know if that's a failure of the execution or concept, because it seems intentional. From what I understand, I'm repeating myself, etc. But what was that?
Chair.
It sounded like an incredibly deep inhale.
It was sure. Your question.
So I don't. So if it incentivizes you to want to save everyone, incentivizes you to like all the characters, and then it forces you to fight against them. And I'm so torn on like whether I think that is a failure of the execution or just like a rotten concept.
Sadism.
What'd you say?
Sadism.
It's because sadism, she said.
Oh.
It's because, like, obviously I don't know, it's partially that, because I don't know how other people in general feel. Like, and I am trying to reconcile in my head, is this the way they intended for it to be? Did they intend for you to feel upset that you couldn't save everyone? And if so, I don't see how that could be anything other than, like, a bad concept. Like, just because they were the ones in control the whole time. So, to explain further, like, to actually get my point out, they are the ones in control. They are the ones who, they being, the developers, the writers, etc. Everyone who is, they being who made the game. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, they made it so you will want to save everyone. And then they made it so you can't. And they succeeded in doing that. So, but they also, because the one thing, this is something I brought up with Audrey, but I didn't bring up with you, Phoenix. They had the framework to do things the way Undertale did. Because the way Undertale did it was phenomenal. They gave you, like, they made you want to go through and save everyone. They made you want the friendly RPG where no one has to die. And the way they did it, the way he did it, Toby Fox, but the way he did it was by giving you the super, like, natural power